So you're young, you're broke, and you want to finally get rich. The truth is, just a couple years ago, I was in the same situation you're in right now. I was dirt poor, I had nothing, I was miserable, depressed, and I was scouring the internet to find the answers. It's funny because with my best friend at the time, we often joked about the fact that oftentimes I would stay up until 4 AM like he would see on WhatsApp the last time I'd opened up the chat. And that's because I was still up consuming podcasts, reading articles, watching YouTube videos made by entrepreneurs. I wanted to figure out the secrets of the ultra successful. Now fast forward a decade in the future, I've been able to completely turn my life around, and I built a business that gave me the freedom I had always dreamed of. I went from sleeping in a basement infested with rats to staying in some of the best hotels in the world. I went from being in a car worth no more than $20,000 to cars worth more than most people's houses. And if you seriously think, oh, it's just another lucky kid, let me tell you one thing. I didn't exactly have wealthy parents. The truth is that my father is a nurse and my mother a nursing assistant. Growing up, we often lacked money. We didn't really have that many hobbies. Life at home was brutal. So as you can see, not exactly the wealthy type. Like I remember just being jealous of some of my friends because they had bigger houses, they went on vacation like every single year, and they could just afford nicer things. They had a phone, I didn't. They had nice clothes, I didn't. So growing up without that much, it built up the desire inside of me to truly experience abundance and to become extremely free. And for that, I quickly realized I needed a lot of money. But at the same time, I could see from the distance those CEOs, CFOs, like the busy executives, they were making 6 figures a year. They were driving nice cars, wearing nice clothes. So you'd look at that from the outside and you'd think, these people are extremely successful. And they are. But the issue is they have no freedom. They work 12 hours a day. And even on the weekends, they need to reply to work emails. They need to have meetings, to respond to colleagues, even when they are on vacation. So they're always working in some capacity. And to be able to get to that point where they get that high-paying job, where they make 6 figures a year and everyone thinks they're this massive success, it took them their entire lives, slowly climbing the corporate ladder, decade after decade, getting massively in debt to be able to study in the fanciest schools. But not just that, you would have needed to know the right people, because otherwise, you couldn't access the right opportunities. If you're born in a small town like I was, with not that many opportunities around, you were not gonna get one of those jobs. And that's why as a kid, as a teen, even though I understood I needed to make a lot of money, I also understood that the path to be able to achieve the freedom I wanted wasn't the traditional path. Because I could do like everyone else, get massively in debt, go to university, and study my ass off to be able to one day get that 6-figure a year job, but I would not be free. I would have no geographical freedom. I'd have a nice car, wear nice suits, but I wouldn't be different to most people. I would just be a better paid slave. I knew that's not what I wanted, so I needed to find the answer. And I asked myself the following question: is it just a silly, childish fantasy to want so much freedom? To want to be able to just travel on a whim? To buy supercars cash without having to buy them on finance? To be able to buy the home of my dreams without a mortgage? Give back to the people that I love? Or was there a path that could lead me to that? Now luckily, after years of trying to figure out what that path was, I have good news. It is indeed possible. You can truly experience the life that you want, the luxury that you want, the abundance that you want. But I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's gonna be harder than you think, and it's also gonna take a lot longer than you think. But if you're willing to put in the work and you follow the right advice, I have no doubt you'll be able to reach that point yourself. Which is why if right now you're young, you're poor, the first thing that you need to understand is that time is your greatest asset. The truth is, whenever you see someone with a great physique, whenever you see someone getting out of a private jet, or with millions of followers, dozens of supercars, chances are, for 99.9% of them, it took them decades of hard work to achieve. That's decades of sacrifices, of missed parties, and of focused hard work. So if you seriously think you can reach that level in just a year or two, make it 5 years, make it 8. Now honestly, if you follow the right type of advice, you can get there so much faster than the average person. And since you're watching this channel right now, you are on the right track, and I'm cheering you on. The fact that you're still watching shows that you actively take time out of your day to learn, to educate yourself, which is a good thing, and I can only congratulate you on it, because education is your ticket to freedom. And by education, I don't mean going to school, going to university, and listening to the broke teachers who have no clue about life, about how to make money. No, you see, I'm speaking about you taking the time to learn from actually successful people that you want to be like. Which leads me to the next point. You want to develop an insane thirst for knowledge. You've got to realize that every successful person you'll ever come across, they are constant learners. They weren't born with all the knowledge, all the skills they have today. They had to learn those things, they had to acquire those skills along the way. I wasn't born with a how-to manual to build the business of my dreams, to become financially free. I had to figure it all out on my own. And I mean, especially a decade ago, there weren't that many people making videos on how to start a business online. Nowadays, more than ever, more and more people are getting started day after day because they realize the crazy opportunity that the internet is. It can literally make almost anyone into a multi-millionaire in just a couple of years of hard work. You've got to realize a couple decades ago, the internet didn't even exist, so people would have killed to be able to access the same opportunity that you're given here. And the best part about it, you get access to it for free. So you can have anything you've ever wanted. It's just gonna take a couple years of focused hard work. And yet some people are still gonna be complaining. But honestly, if you're not willing to pay the price to become successful, then you don't deserve it. Because at the end of the day, life is extremely unfair. It's not gonna reward you for doing nothing. There's a quote I love which goes, "The market is not yet crazy enough to reward undeserving people." So just like in business, if you want to make a lot of money, you need to give others what they want. Because people are not just gonna pay you just to thank you for existing, just because you want to make money. Customers will only give you the money that they've worked so hard to earn if you have something of value to exchange for it. And so in that same spirit, in life you get exactly what you work for. You could be working extremely hard, but if you're just the guy making burgers at McDonald's, well, guess what? You're never gonna make $1 million with that job because you're not using the right vehicle, the right opportunity to make money. A lot of people don't realize that ignorance is costing them everything, because if right now you knew exactly what to do, you would do it, and so you'd get the results. You'd build the body of your dreams. You'd build that successful online business. You would have everything that you've always wanted. But the reason why you don't is because you don't know what to do. There's so much conflicting advice out there. It's hard to know who to trust, who to listen to. It's like if you wanted to lose weight, to be in great shape. Which fitness influencer should you trust? Which one should you ignore? I mean, for the longest time, I was staying skinny, weak, because I listened to the wrong people who only wanted to sell me something and not actually help me. And so for years, I just wasted my time, not making any progress. Instead, if I had known exactly what I know today, if I had known exactly what to do, I would have built a body I'm proud of so much faster. So for that reason, you never want to assume you know everything, because the truth is you never will. Evolution is the most fundamental law of nature. What does not evolve decays and dies. Life is ruthless, and so should you be if you want to turn your dreams into a reality. Now, the best advice I can give you, if you want to make a lot of money, you want to be free, you want to get jacked, you want to find the love of your life, whatever it is that you want, you need to use your 20s to build. Most people waste their 20s. They think, oh, it's just to have fun. But while they're having fun, while they're being literal idiots, they're going to the club, spending so much money on alcohol, buying expensive shit they don't need, trainers worth $200, instead of putting that money into their education, into building for themselves the life they've always wanted, well, guess what? While they're so hungover they can't work, you are working productively. You're working hard in the shadows. And later on, in a couple of years, when you emerge victorious, when you are finally successful, you start to make a lot of money. You go on vacation, you post it on your Instagram. These people, they're gonna look at you and call you lucky. But these same people, they weren't there when you were putting all-nighters to do the work, when you were getting up at 5 a.m. No, because instead they were partying, watching Netflix, going to bed at 3 a.m., doing nothing productive with their time. And then these same people, they dare look at you and say that you got lucky, but they have no idea. One day someone told me, you can't expect to do like everyone else and end up with a massively different outcome. I mean, Einstein himself called this the definition of insanity. You can't expect to do exactly what you're doing right now, to keep doing the same things and to get a different outcome. So if you want to obtain better than what 99% of people are only dreaming of, well, guess what? It's not gonna magically fall on your lap. You're gonna have to earn it. And sometimes I've had people tell me, oh, I just wish I had been born in a wealthy family. I wish I had been a trust fund kid. But these people, they don't understand. I know for a fact, most trust fund kids, they are just wasting their lives away because they were given everything. So now they have no drive, no motivation to actually achieve anything. They go to the bank, they request to access their trust fund, but not to build a business, not to buy a home. No, you see, they just want to invite all of their friends to this massive party, rent out the best hotels in the world, and fly private. They don't care about actually building anything tangible to help others. So you always want to remember this. Being given something, it's nice, but earning something with your own blood, sweat, and tears, it is infinitely more powerful. There is nothing more gratifying. There is no better feeling in the whole world. So don't disrespect the journey. Right now, if you're at rock bottom, you know what? Be happy about it. Find some kind of sadistic pleasure in that pain. Because fair enough, you might be nobody right now. You might have nothing to show for. You don't feel valued or respected in society. You don't feel like people recognize your worth. But as you put in the work in the shadows day after day, it's only a matter of time before you start seeing results, before you become a massive success. And then trust me, people will notice it. So work extremely hard and let your results make the noise for you. And if you don't, the sad truth is you will end up exactly like most people. You waste your 20s, you party, you do bullshit, you never actually take control over your life, you fall for instant gratification instead of improving yourself. Guess what? In 1, 2, to 3 decades from now, you'll be stuck in a dead-end career that you hate. And you'll look back and you'll wish you had done the work. I can tell you for a fact, I only got to where I am today because I worked my ass off. I sacrificed years of my life. Instead, I could have done like most people, entertained myself constantly to escape from my own misery. That's how most people cope. But most people's definition of fun is playing video games, watching Netflix, partying, going to the club, spending so much money on alcohol for people who won't even remember your name. My definition of fun is inviting all of my friends on a yacht and having an amazing day, hiring some of the best chefs to cook us an amazing meal as we watch the sunset. That is my definition of having fun. You're free to have yours. Now, if you want to make a lot of money, you want to become extremely rich, the best thing that you can do is to build a strong brand. I'm letting you on a secret right now. This is exactly what will create the next billionaires of the century. I often like to say, you could have the best service or the best product in the world, but if no one knows about it, no one even knows that you exist, you're not gonna make a single cent. Whereas you'll see the competition, because they get more visibility, more attention than you do. Their products might be worse in terms of quality, their services might not be that great, but they will make 1,000 more times the money that you make. And that's why you need to find a way to put your offer in front of as many people as possible every single day. There are many ways that you can do this. You can reach out to people manually. You can also create content on social media, run paid advertising, but do whatever you have to do to create a massive brand. Nowadays, it's completely true. Attention is the new currency. So if you can successfully grab people's attention and retain it for as long as possible, believe me when I say, you won't have to worry about money ever again. Now, if you were surrounded by multi-millionaires, by high achievers, what do you think would happen? You would become just like them. We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So naturally, if you're surrounded by unambitious people, all they care about is playing video games, ordering some junk food, going to a party. They never care about actually building a great life, a life of true freedom, of true abundance. Well, guess what? If you say yes to them, you go and party with them, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, and more often than not, you'll realize these people are not even your friends. They don't actually care about you. So while you follow along because you want others to like you, another guy, he's working hard and he's gonna get everything that could have been yours. The respect, the status, the money, even the relationships that could have been yours. So it's time to ditch all the loser friends and to surround yourself with the right people. Now you may be wondering, well, how am I supposed to do that? I can't exactly reach multi-millionaires right now. I completely understand. It's not too long ago, I was in the same position. Growing up as a teen, I had no one who was really ambitious around me, no one who shared the same vision of life, no one who wanted so much more than the cookie-cutter path that had been pushed onto us all of our lives. So I had no choice. I had to surround myself with mentors virtually. I read countless books written by actually successful people. I watched every YouTube video on business, listened to every podcast. As much as I could, I tried to surround myself with people who inspired me, even if it was just virtually. Now finally, if you want to make more money, you need to understand, you need to become more valuable. When it comes to relationships, there's a golden rule, which is that you always want to treat other people the way you would want them to treat you. But when it comes to business, there is also a golden rule. The more value you provide to others, the more you'll get paid. Zig Ziglar said, if you give others what they want, you will have anything you want. Those words are extremely profound. I learned from many successful people, some of them with almost $100 million net worth, and every single one of them, without exception, never made a single cent as long as they were trying to sell things that people didn't want. You cannot create desire. You can only awaken a desire which is already inside of people. So if you can find a way to discover a painful problem and to solve that problem for people, the more painful the problem, the more money you'll make, believe me. Now with that said, what are you waiting for? It's time to get to work.